notice catchweight on the fringes of strawweight. This fight at 120 pounds between Emily Ducote taking on Lupita Godinez. When you look at the matchup, Matt, I mean, this one was just announced on May 6th, so 2 weeks notice for Godinez. We saw Godinez take short notice fights in the past. She lost to Angela Hill at a catchweight. She lost at flyweight on what? She had fought the week before, won at strawweight, and then fought the next week against one Luana Karolina. Won the first round, lost after that. So Lupita Godinez taking another short notice fight, representing Titan Athletics in BC, but she also trains at the Sound in Squamish with Jamie Lynn Horth, UFC winner of a fight. So I'm sure if Godinez wins, she's going to want a short notice call at UFC 289. Everybody does down there in Vancouver. But when you look at this fight, Matt, I mean, it's the nickname that her coach gave her because of too many donuts. Little fat girl. It's Emily Ducote with Gordinha. You look at it for both these women. I mean, champions from different organizations before they came into the UFC. LFA and BTC for Godinez. Invicta for Ducote. And you saw Ducote go, 4-4 with Bellator. She had fought for the title against Alima Leigh McFarland. Takedowns were the issue for Ducote at certain points, and then pressure fighters could kind of get off on their striking. But you saw Ducote take a giant step forward with Invicta.
Exactly.
She had that crazy head kick knockout over Danielle Taylor. She comes into the UFC against a former Danielle Taylor opponent in Jessica Penne, backed her up, defended all the takedowns, landed a lot of strikes. And then against Angela Hill, which is the free fight for this week, which is wild, Emily Ducote versus Angela Hill. In that one, Hill backs her up, lands to the head and to the body, and Ducote on the back foot landed no volume like we'd seen.
It will be interesting to see, though, if Godinez can have a similar gameplay to someone like Angela Hill by backing up Ducote, because Ducote isn't a thunderous puncher by any means, but she lands good shots.
Yeah.
And they're damaging shots, too. She has good elbows up close, and that's what I think with both these fighters. They're both well-rounded, but they go about it in very, very different ways. Like for Ducote, a lot of her work is going to get done on the feet in her striking, but the one thing that has grown a lot for her, you bring up how takedown defense was a big liability for her. Her offensive takedowns aren't terrible when she does go for them. Now, I don't love her in some extended grappling situations on the mat. She'll put her arms in bad positions, kind of get caught in some close arm bars. And against someone like Godinez, who's kind of as squirrely as she is on the mat, it's not really the position you want to be in. But again, Ducote's game has grown tremendously since we saw her on the Bellator scene, and it does have to be given its due right for that. But for Godinez, I wonder what she's going to do to get this fight to the mat, because
If she does.
What?
I don't think Godinez takes to the mat in this one.
No, but I think she's going to use the clinch to at least threaten with the takedown. Ducote's someone who, kind of like Karolina, she likes throwing the elbows. She's just very active from that position. So from that position, I could see Emily winning in that spot. So for Godinez, I think she will have to mix her martial arts. That's why I do bring that up. I think the takedown attempt is much more likely from her. And again, from that clinch position, I just think it's something she can do to disrupt the timing of Ducote, because Ducote is steady for 15 minutes. She's going to be there if she can be in your face. But again, like you bring up with the Hill fight, that's a pretty big Achilles heel to have in your game.
If either of these women are on the front foot, they're very good. If they're on the back foot, they struggle tremendously. Godinez against Hill, she talked about it in an interview before her last fight against Cynthia Calvillo with James Lynch, to where she had a bit of a hip issue. She couldn't kind of push off for some of those takedowns. Not getting the takedowns against Hill cost her in the striking. Her last time out against Cynthia Calvillo, the mat was lava. She didn't really go for the same amount of takedowns. And even when Calvillo got the takedown, Godinez was able to pop back up and start to strike. Eric Colon thought it was 29-28 for Calvillo in the matchup. Most others thought it was either 29-28 or even 30-27 for Godinez, because the power strikes were there to the volume. So when you look at a matchup like this, whoever's able to push forward should be able to win. I'd stay away from it. It's pot and popcorn for me. It is on short notice. Godinez, when she fought against Hill at a catchweight of 120, that was in California. So you get the rehydration numbers. She rehydrated to 130. So she only gained 10 pounds. She's not cutting
but at that weight, that's a good amount of weight, though.
But she isn't cutting like some wicked amount of weight. She's not like...
But nobody at strawweight cuts 20 pounds. Like, that's 20% of their body weight. That's my whole point. Like, 10 pounds for how big they are is still a good amount.
Devison Figueiredo caught a
Devison Figueiredo's a guy. There's a
125.
big difference between the two, and you know that. Let's not act like it's the same.
Regardless, when you do look at this matchup, Matt, again, it is on short notice. Ducote was getting ready for Pauliana Viana. We even had the graphics all done up for it. You look at the odds in this one. Godinez is a slight favorite in the matchup. We have a look at the Topology votes, Matt. Surprised that's there to you. Fans that watch that Hill-Ducote fight are probably really down on Ducote. I'm going to say over-under 72.5% Godinez.
I'll say under, but she'll be the favorite.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest. 791 total votes, 79% Godinez, 92% by decision. For the 21% that have Ducote, 88% by decision. Jumping jeepers. When I look at this matchup, Matt, Emily Ducote throws more set boxing combinations and more leg kicks than Lupita Godinez traditionally. Godinez will more than likely go in there, box, land like a single leg kick, reset, and then try and land some steadier boxing shots. But when you look at it for Godinez, why do we know that she's tough? She gets hit a lot in her fights, and she gets hit when she's moving forward. So this is a really tough one to try and actually offer a prediction, although most fans will pick Godinez in the matchup.
I'll go with the slight underdog in Ducote. I like her steadiness, and again, that last fight was an awful performance from her. Like, you're kind of buying at the lowest point with Emily Ducote right now, but if you do look at the whole portion of her game, and I agree with you, whoever's moving forward in this is probably also going to be winning, because both fighters do have some of those defensive struggles where they're not really throwing on the back foot, they don't necessarily know where to put their heads, so I'll go with Emily ever so slightly.
You know what's gross when you go back and look? Emily Ducote, when she fought Angela Hill, was ranked 13th. Hill was ranked 12th. Emily Ducote was a minus 125 favorite. Modest. I'm quite sure I picked Emily Ducote to win in that fight. Lupita Godinez fought Angela Hill. Minus 360 favorite. She lost that one. Now, I know injuries are what they are, but when I look at a matchup like this, I think Godinez can pressure the fight, can keep a pace for 3 rounds, and just keep Ducote on the back foot. But again, I think we've laid out a pretty darn good game plan.
It's a very close fight.
Both of these fighters. Matt, we're split on the pick. You're going with Emily Ducote. I'm going with the Mexican-Canadian out of BC, Lupita Godinez. Next fight's a co-main event. Edmund Shahbazyan taking on Anthony Hernandez. It's fluffy. You're not going to want to miss it.